What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Alolan DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. In our last episode we covered the fairy type Comfey, and I gave you a choice between two of the guardian Pokemon of the Alolan region, Tapu Koko and Tapu Lele, and the psychic fairy Tapu Lele came out on top, so that's who we'll be covering today. But of course we have next episode's Pokemon to choose before that, and it's another Ultra Beast. We did the UBO 2 vote, and now we have a UBO 4 vote. You have the choice of Celesteela or Kartana. Which Ultra Beast would you like to see covered, UBO4 Blaster or UBO4 Blade? Let me know down below by commenting either Celesteela or Kartana, and the one with most votes will be covered next episode. But for now, let's jump in and look at Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele is number 786 in the National Pokédex, is the Land Spirit Pokemon, and as I mentioned, a Psychic Fairy type. It stands at, or is about so high, 3 foot 11 inches or 1.2 meters, and weighs 41 pounds or 18.6 kilograms, so pretty light. It's in the Undiscovered Egg group, being a legendary Pokemon, and is also genderless, and again, being a legendary or being a normal legendary, it doesn't evolve from or into any other Pokemon. So the base stats for Tapu Lele. Throwing up on the screen, you can see the highest base stat is Special Attack at 130, which is pretty damn high, then Special Defense at 115, and then trickling down we have Speed at 95, Attack at 85, Defense at 75, and Health Points at 70, so basically it's a special attacker, and Calm Mind is this Pokemon's best friend, basically. Ability wise, it gets Psychic Surge, which upon entering the battle turns the ground into Psychic Terrain. Now the benefits of Psychic Terrain, as I'm sure you already know, they prevent priority moves and boost Psychic moves, which is very good for Tapu Lele with that high special attack stat and a Psychic boost. It's pretty good. So the Psychic Fairy typing, how does it actually shape up? Well, it resists 2 types, which are Fighting and Psychic. It does resist Fighting 4 times though, meaning it only takes 1/4 damage from any Fighting type attack, so that's pretty good. But it has 3 weaknesses as opposed to those 2 resistances, which are Poison, Ghost and Steel, and 1 immunity, which of course is Dragon, taking neutral from all the other types. So it's not a bad typing, but it's not a particularly good typing, but especially combined with its ability Psychic Surge, the Psychic type stab will be just wondrous for you to use. Move wise, there are not really a huge amount of moves you could use Tapu Lele, because its sort of usage is sort of, you use it for this purpose really, and you know, wouldn't really do it for anything else. And of course there's just similar moves across the sets. So 2 level up moves, which are level 32 Psyshock and level 58 Moonblast. Of course Psyshock is an alternative to Psychic when you want to be attacking their physical defense with a special attacking moves. That's pretty good. Less power than Psychic, but it is, you know, if you've got a Moonblast and a Psyshock, Moonblast is for the ones that have low special defense, and Psyshock is the ones that have low physical defense. But of course, less damage, so you might want to think about using Psychic still. Moonblast, of course, is your other stab here. Basically, there's no reason to use any other fairy move, because why? Why would you? 95 base power, really powerful move here. TMs then are where we find the rest of the moves of Tapu Lele, with first TM4 Calm Mind, as I mentioned, which will boost your special attack and your special defense to even higher levels, so really if you can get a Calm Mind or 2 off, you are pretty much set. Then we have TM10 Hidden Power, because one downside to Tapu Lele is doesn't have a huge move pool, Psychic and Fairy Stabs, and then a couple more moves looking at, but apart from that there's no way to get access to these Fire type moves or Water type moves. So anything Hidden Power. In terms of your weaknesses, you have Poison, Ghost and Steel, Ground maybe because of Poison and Ghost. But of course, in terms of other moves you can't really hit, you have Psychic and Fairy, which are of course both resisted by Ghost, so again, Ground or Fire might be something to look into. Then, a few more TMs, we have TM29 Psychic, as I mentioned. It's basically your most powerful Psychic type stab, but of course your most powerful move basically, because it's Psychic Terrain. Now, as I mentioned, you can Psyshock or Psychic, but of course if you run Psychic, you're going to have nothing for those chances that come in, so you really want to think about running your Psyshock. Then TM30 right next is Shadow Ball, Ghost type. This is for to handle the Ghost types that come out against you basically, because of course that is one of your weaknesses, and of course just gives you more coverage generally. And then one last move is Focus Blast at TM52. It only has 70% accuracy, but that 120 base power and your very high special attack stat mean this move will hit hard. And when I say hard, I mean hard. So really, again, it's covering Steel types, that's one good thing there. Dark types gives you something for that as well, because otherwise you haven't really got anything, well, apart from Moonblast I suppose, but of course it allows you to hit normal types with some really powerful moves. It's sort of the, you know, where the one situation where it would be useful will do a load of damage. So those are the moves you'll want to think about using for Tapu Lele. So we're going to have two sets to look at. The first of them is your full out, all attacking, boom, just use that special attack stat to go crazy. And the second one is more of a mix between special attack and special defense, balancing it out, being a bit bulkier. So the moveset for the first set is going to be Psychic or Psyshock, Moonblast, Focus Blast, and then Hidden Power or Shadow Ball. We have Psychic Surge as the ability, of course. Nature can be Modest or Timid, and the held item can be Choice Specs, or you can run a Life Orb here as well. EVs, of course, are going maximum special attack as well as maximum speed, and the last few in special defense to boost that even higher. So Psychic or Psyshock, I'm not going to go over this again, I've spoken about it a few times already. It's up to you whether you go for power or for sort of flexibility. Moonblast is your other stab. Focus Blast, as I mentioned, is a really quite powerful move, why not run it? And the last choice between Hidden Power or Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball was there for Aegislash, because otherwise you really hadn't got anything for it, because Aegislash is really powerful, is immune to Focus Blast, resists Moonblast, Psychic resists as well. So that's why Shadow Ball was there, but Aegislash has recently been banned from OU, so you could think about running Hidden Power, because, you know, Shadow Ball, yes, okay, it's powerful, it's Ghost type, but in terms of what you can hit with this Shadow Ball that you couldn't hit with other moves, is really just a super effective Ghost and a super effective Psychic. Apart from that, it's not a huge bonus to it, so you could think about running Hidden Power instead. Less power, of course, ironically, but it could offer you some more coverage. The Modest or Timid nature is up to you. Modest will hit harder and for a lot more damage, whereas Timid will allow you to outspeed those sort of, you know, few edge case Pokemon and allow you to get those hits in when you need it. And then, you know, you could sort of, it depends on your held item really, if you want to think about it that way. Choice Specs or Life Orb. If you say Choice Specs, run Timid nature maybe, because of course you have that boost, but you're faster, so you want to, you know, you have the boost in attack, or special attack rather, and you have the boost in speed thanks to the nature, and you can work it like that. Of course we have, you know, the other options for the held item are both sort of boosting moves. Choice Scarf, probably not worth it on Tapu Lele. This speed isn't really, you know, that's, I mean, doesn't need boosting enough, and it's not really its main focus, it's attacking. So Choice Specs or Life Orb really is up to you, so you either choiced into one type of move, or you're slowly losing health points, so it's more flexibility versus longevity. If you want longevity, probably go for Choice Specs. If you want flexibility, go for Life Orb. Not going to speak too much about the EVs because of course they're fairly simple, fairly standard, full power, full speed, and then the rest wherever basically. So it's generally just an attacking set. You go in, Psychic Surge gets set up and sets that Psychic Terrain for you. Don't have to worry about priority moves, so that's another reason you don't, well, I mean not Choice Scarf would actually help you against priority moves, but it means that you have to deal with them basically. So running a Timid Nature might be worth it because it means you're never going to get outsped via a priority move, unless of course Psychic Terrain runs out, but I wouldn't really think you get there in that time. But you go in, Psychic Terrain sets up. I guess Psychic or Psyshock is the move to go to thanks to Psychic Terrain, unless of course there's an alternative. If it's a Steel type, go for Focus Blast, or if you have a Ground Hidden Power or a Fire Hidden Power. If otherwise, just go for Psychic or Psyshock. It's going to do most damage with Psychic Terrain up, and yeah, that is the first set. So if we move swiftly on to the second one, it's very similar. We have Psychic or Psyshock again, Moonblast again, Hidden Power or Shadow Ball again, and then Calm Mind. So as I mentioned, Calm Mind, best friend, you can run like this. Ability of course is the same. Nature again, Modest or Timid really. We don't have to go for a bulky nature here because our special defense is bulky enough, and we might as well boost up that special attack even more. Held item is Leftovers this time though, because we want that longevity, because no point setting up a Calm Mind or two if you're just going to get taken out. So we have the Leftovers in combination with Calm Mind, and then the EVs are exactly the same, just the maximum special attack and speed. We're relying on Calm Mind to boost up our special defense, because really if we were to looking at sort of, you know, being an overall fairly bulky Pokemon, our physical defense at 75 is pretty low, so that's the one thing you have to actually watch out for with Tapu Lele. And it's too low for us to boost up to a similar level to the special defense. We might as well put all our eggs in the power basket and have Calm Mind be an extra, you know, extra little thing. Yeah, if you're using a special attacker, you're not even going to be able to touch me, you know. Calm Mind is just going to protect you easily. Psychic, Psyshock, Psychic Stab, up to you, mentioned before. Moonblast, Fairy Stab, pretty simple. Hidden Power, Shadow Ball, similar to the last set, it was there for Aegislash. You don't have to have Shadow Ball anymore since Aegislash is gone, so Hidden Power is there. But of course, if you are playing in an environment where Aegislash might be, you can definitely think about running Shadow Ball. Hidden Power, yeah, is the other one, Fire, Ground, whichever one you want to choose for. And then Calm Mind is the last one, because that's, I guess, the bonus over the last set. Rather than going in and do full power straight away, set up a Calm Mind or two, have Leftovers, slowly heal up any health points you lost, and then you'll be able to just not so sweep through the whole team, but clear out the whole team unless they have any strong physical attackers. So you could see this as more of a late game sweeper, so once the strong physical attackers are actually out of the picture, you can send Tapu Lele in, set up a Carmine or two, and then you're good, you're set. The good thing is though, Psychic Terrain out of the question, priority moves won't be able to hit you while it's active, and most of those priority moves are physical attacks, so that's one bonus there for you. How would you use this set? Fairly similar to the last one. You go in, except instead of attacking you straight away, set up a Carmine, maybe two, depends how flexible your opponent is in letting you set up on them, and then start going to town with your Psychics or Psyshocks and your Moonblasts and just start wrecking the team. As mentioned, it's a late game sweeper probably, so you might want to just think about avoiding sending it out until you've taken out those very strong physical attackers that would probably ruin Tapu Lele's day. But that is going to be it for Tapu Lele today, 1 Guardian down out of 4. But don't forget to vote for next episode's Pokemon. We have 2 Ultra Beasts, we have Celesteela, or we have Kartana. Let me know which you'd like to see me cover next episode by commenting down below. I was saying Celesteela or Kartana. But for now, this is going to be it for me for today, so I shall see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.